I want a two, I want 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 do. Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Well, hello there. Hey, hi, social media family. We end up getting subscribers. And likewise, as you visitors to that been of my own YouTube social media channel, in the chat room comment section, that your persons among yourselves will be affiliated or associated with and or representing. How you all doing? You know, being a your person or you and yours, you know, and being for the last mention, your family members and any friends of your different households as well as yourselves. Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay. Excuse me. If not, better yet to be said, to be feeling all right. Likewise, you know, is anybody else who ever could be feeling like so, and vice versa, as well as anybody else. But not best of all, to have become or be considered of a status as being blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. Or, and hopefully me and mine, likewise. As well, all the same. They've got to drink plenty of vitamin C, you know, in crazy weather temps as this here partly man-made with some kind of a racist redneck puke white boy mad scientist is throwing a monkey wrench in Mother Nature's program, possibly more than just a couple of few, and assuming that by doing so, that it's going to somehow supposedly benefit white people more than, you know, Caucasians, more than the ethnic minorities or than the non-whites, you know, more like assuming it's going to benefit more whites than the non-whites, more Caucasians than ethnic minorities, or more whites than the non-whites. When if anything, it's just going to prove to become a detrimental, a devastating effects in a negative way for everyone, all races of peoples or persons. This is the better, best water yet. Or rather, what I meant to say, this is the better, best beverage yet, being of H2O water. Prince of Peace continued regular man compared out of Prince of Darkness to confuse my speech. Yeah. How to get on Mother Nature. Oh yeah, I was speaking about vitamin C. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, I get on the subject of mother. Now it seems like Johnny repeat. But other than that, hopefully Mother Nature will prove to have become to be more merciful, you know, than vice versa, etcetera. You know, being the likes of these here. You know, those stupid little dumb cost of desperados, you know, hoodlum or gangster wannabes, as I would call them. They're just not honorable, like, you know, they were back in the day. you know, in times past compared to what we have with the likes of them hooligans and or street urchins, as they would have been called back then. You know, and as they would be now, that much more just known as punks, street punks, and other bad for the wrong side. Street punks and skinheads and like, you know, where nowadays, unlike the old school hoodlums and gangsters, they have a beef with somebody, they just go after that person. Not go after that person and likewise any family members and friends of theirs. And not that I had meant to sound it seem like I'm writing it off as an AKA changing the subject. So do disregard or ignore anything you can hear in the background. Otherwise, no, I'm not making reference to any electronic devices of my own personal faith belonging to possession, but rather I was, you know, reflecting upon or regarding making reference to any of certain particular neighbors in the building, being of whom will be much more commonly called and are commonly known as the proverbial neighbors from down hell, particularly and especially the one being of a local drug push who had threatened my life verbally already, most recently, a few times, whereas each and every time I have had to call the police on his, you know, not only stupid and sick self, to put it mildly, but that much more creepy self. And I think he himself is kind of gay, or more so faggot, if not a little actual closet faggot, with the way he continues to attempt to make my life a living damn hell on a daily and a nightly basis, especially when he makes more like a character of a spook that sit by a door much more than as a midnight cowboy. And whereas I think he'd be moonlighting as a crank caller and a stalker, man. You know, not to mention could possibly be moonlighting as a home invader, if you know what I mean. You know, so far as criminal trespassing is concerned. Yeah. I mean, don't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out when I say home invaders. You know, even if I were to say read between the lines, fill the banks. And not that this is about him. You know. And so back to the original subject matter type of discussion, although he himself is a hoodlum, a gangster in his own right, and other dishonorable ones who I was making reference to begin with, right at the very beginning of this present social media broadcast video content, whereas I was speaking upon how and getting back to some of such other original subject matter, how the hoodlums or gangsters of our day, they are nothing compared to those in times past who were more honorable. Whereas these other ones in our modern day and age, especially if they are balling up their hands in the form of fists and just hitting female persons of American citizens and foreigners in their faces at random and in a major metropolitan American city on the East Coast within the continental USA, United States of America, being a sister city to another major metropolitan city as we have it here for the Midwest, being Chicago, Illinois, USA, where these perps or males are doing that to the opposite sex to females within the city of the Big Apple. be compared on to the one you say. No, as in New York, New York to be compared on to Chicago, Illinois. USA. And why? Oh, simply being because they're cowards. They are stupid and sick cowards, to do that. You know. I mean, I don't know what's going on out that way, but one thing I do know, it is a cowardly acts. The cowardiceness is of cowards to be compared on to my main neighbor from damn hell of a creepy, cowardly, stupid and crazy, character, a riffraff being of the rank and file of the criminal elements. And for some reason or another, I suspect he's manipulating the ventilation system at some such a given moment in time by some means, to be used as diversion noises to possibly cover up the sounds of he himself bothering with my apartment door at times. And if I were to catch him in here, there would be hell to pay. And whereas I would resort to self-defense and then make a citizen's arrest, then have the police make the official arrest. But then regardless of whatever the outcome, I have my salvation in Christ as a saved individual person of a believer in God, compared to how he himself is still an unsaved person, as I suspect him to be. And on his way to damn hell. And likewise, let me say, in order state for the record that regardless, let me say on state for the record, even so, that regardless of the outcome, whereas he himself has now acquired a paper trail, whereas if anything could possibly happen to me, the police will know whose apartment door to go knocking on. And so much for that conversation dialogue. And getting back to the original subject matter, not that I mean to include him in practically and on possibly each and every future social media broadcast of video content, God forbid, because he himself is not all that important. If anything, if I were to mention him, it's just to, like clue you all in, to let you know what a cold, cruel world this is, and to tell you all to be safe than sorry, because we have a lot more cuckoo birds in this world than ever before, like the crackpots or cranks or nutcases of males just hitting women in their faces, yet using their bare fists to do so. For the cowards of poot-butts and pissants they are, representing less manhood than much more familiar faggot, cocksucker, the average one otherwise, of a character of a peculiar, strange one. And as they are perpetrating some of such, or like their kind, in one of our major metropolitan American cities, and whereas it just get me to thinking, whereas I would say from there, why don't you pick on somebody your own size, Why would you want to, punch a woman at random? The weaker of the sexes for our own species, as we have it, of the human race. That just don't make any sense. Now, why would you go and do something like that for? Like as if they're working off some such frustration or getting mad at women because they have been less likely to get any poon chain from them lately. I don't know. Whatever the case or situation is, it's not only stupid, it's sick of them, And hopefully, the likes of other males there will step up and be counted and, come to these different females' rescue, you know, even before that were to happen. And if it were to happen, hopefully they would, if they could possibly with the help of other males, restrain and or detain the perpetrator or perpetrators, depending on how many, then I can understand if they were not to want to get involved directly, then do some indirectly by getting on your cell phone and dialing an emergency telephone number to alert the police, that there's a life crisis, a violation of somebody else's civil and human rights that could prove to possibly have the possible potential to become rather lethal or extremely dangerous to jeopardize the general welfare of a fellow American citizen or a foreigner of an individual person. That's the least a person can do of another male. Be one, have other males to assist, as in help one to fight off a perpetrator or a perp of a selling or attacker coming against a female person representing the opposite sex or not. If you ask me, I think it's like, they're getting in touch with their feminine side otherwise, if you know what I mean. Like as if they are another woman engaging in a cat fight with still another woman. Either that they're either drunk or she high, you know, or they could possibly be contemplating becoming female impersonators of male characters themselves. Like I had said, much earlier, so let me reiterate or repeat myself. If anything, the likes of them will represent less manhood than a much more familiar faggot of a cocksucker. If they're doing that. I mean, why would you want to punch some woman in her face that you don't know? You know, how would you like it if somebody would have, like, if your mom or grandma are still living, you know, go about and punch, any female relatives of yours in the face, that they don't know. Some of such other male persons of the same sex. I don't think you would like that at all. How'd you like it if you're married, a male that's married, and some random stranger of a male punches your wife of a female in the face, or punch your your woman fiance in her face, or your female woman of a girlfriend in her face? I don't think you would like that at all. No, somebody were to punch your mom or your grandma or your sister in the face. You know, that's just. And these are the times we're living in. For the times they are changing. Yeah, man, that's like crazy. And I hope that the police catch each and every one of those perps wherever that pulls that kind of bogus crap. I'm like, I just can't fathom a, 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 a random stranger of a male hitting somebody that one does not know of a female representing the opposite sex in her face, whereas it would become or be a physical actions unprovoked. You know, just walking up to a woman and punching her in the face, then because you just feel like it, you don't have anything, supposedly nothing else you could do, to occupy your mind, your time and energy, and upon a positive note of interest compared to how you would choose to do something else in a negative kind of way. It just don't make any sense. Then one could possibly be bored as well as having become subject to experiencing pain. But there's no kind of boredom or pain in the world that could possibly justify that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Just don't make any sense. Wow. I'd be like, it's like that? Really now? If I imagine if I was in the city of the Big Apple and I see something like that happen, right? I'd be like, where's the tree limb? Just in case this male person, otherwise the same sex, may have some kind of superhuman strength, you know, because they say that crazy persons are really, pretty much so strong, but then, you know, one cannot come against a believer in God and not expect to be cursed, you know, like this one neighbor from down here, a local drug pusher, who is more creepy than stupid or sick or crazy. So, yeah, getting back to the original subject matter, yeah. As a backtrack here with reason or purpose of being, unless I can go into problems to continue from where I went, my person at last left off, so I can finish up as complete a form previous to prior line thought, you know. Yeah. If I can remember exactly. Oh, well, all things supposed to work for the good guy. I mean, he this character. I mean, it happened all over New York. I'm hearing. Well, in some areas more than others, just walking up to a woman, just hitting her in the face. Bah, da, da, da. I mean, you would have to either had become just ever so bored or could possibly be experiencing, pain otherwise. You know, depending on what your family history is like of abuse, and you're just repeating the cycle after you could have possibly been abused, you want to abuse another others, yeah. I don't know, be it to no, not likely to for one to come off like a social scientist to do so to try to figure out why one's father or stepdad was like that, beating up on females. I don't think that would be the case or situation that could be, you know, influencing one to go about, you know, like so. So, what's you all the views and opinions about that? I mean, don't you think that's rather? I mean, whoever and how many that's pulling that crap is crazy as boo boo. Well, not so crazy if one, has a mind's intentions to try to get away. Then, if that's the case, then why perpetrate that in the first place? If I mean, to begin with, if if finally sanity is going to kick in after you were misbehaving like insane in the membrane, yeah, if you were going to just try to get away as fast as you can after pulling that crap, then why bother to do that in the first place? To begin with, I mean, if you're gonna make like you done lost your marbles, then stay there and take the punishment. You know what I'm saying? Wait for the po. Okay, you'd be better off just turning yourself in. If you run away, then because the longer you attempt to avoid the long arm of the law, the worse the off it's going to be for you. You know, after it could possibly register in your mind that you did wrong, you was foul, and now you have to, suffer the serious consequence. All you're doing is digging a deeper hole for yourself when you run. As a perk. You know, y'all know what I'm saying? I mean, they blacken these women's eyes, hitting them in their jaw, loosen teeth, and everything, Man. So it's a scary situation to be a woman, in the city of the Big Apple. With that being gone about, But just think, if all of a sudden, funny, that more women start to pack a can of mace in their purses, you know, like some already have, that then. Or imagine if, they were to exercise their rights to, there's more of them, to conceal carry. That's when a person could be packing heat of a legal firearm, hopefully only legal, you know. And then whereas one could, flip the script and turn the tables on the would-be perp if one were to be able to catch one with one's jaws down, to let the likes of them know, or one in many, that you just can't be doing that, going around punching females or women in their faces like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Man, somebody's playing with my computer. God. Sorry about that, you all. Gotta get back here. Somebody's playing with my... Somebody's really being obnoxious, you all. I'm sorry. All of a sudden, it's like my computer is like, oh wow. Wait a minute. Okay, I gotta get back in here. Okay. I may have to close out. I was about to close out anyway. You know what I'm saying? For all this happening, like somebody anticipating the moment for me getting up at some such given moment in time. I'm going to check my door because, this one neighbor of mine, he's a real creep. This could be his doing, sabotaging the broadcast now. If he's moonlighting as a computer hacker, as well as it could be somebody else. Okay, here we are. Let me get back to this here. What was that before this happened? All this craziness with the computer. Like somebody sabotaging it. Oh, wow. What's happening? Okay, let's see here. I can go to restore reset. Okay. Sorry about that, you all. I don't know what happened. Come on, man. Devil is a liar. Truth is not in it. Oh my God. I'm sorry about that, you all. Let's see what this happened. That's crazy. Somebody up to all this tomfoolery, as they say. That's what I'm about to close out. But only after saying this here, I hope that the perps of male characters are caught soon enough, and then from there mandated to appear in a court setting before a judge, jury, and prosecutor, and then be from there not just fined, but have to do some time for that, because that's assault and battery. That's supposed to be a misdemeanor, I think. If not, worse yet, a felony. I mean, just think. And whereas they're female victims, they have to get medical treatment for that. That's like to be compared on to sexual assault or rape, whereas a female victim of that particular, crime or criminal activity or hate crime otherwise being a worse one or the worst one yet will become subjected to experiencing, how should I put it, double jeopardy. No, that's not appropriate. That is statement to be made because that's a legal term, right? Rather, let me phrase that. Whereas their well-being would be double or triple fold, being that because not only do they become, any female sexual assault victim, female rape victim become subject to experiencing that of the mental anguish of being assaulted or physically attacked, against their free will, whereas they did not give permission for an assailant or an attacker of a male to have one's way with them when it comes to the male sexual predator, animal monsters, sexually assaulting or raping their female victims, the targets who become the focus of their attention so that they can get some from them and force themselves upon them into a central sexual way. But then they also have to be concerned about any sexually transmitted diseases or sexually, they call it from STD to STI or sexually transmitted infections that they could receive from their male assailants or male attackers of the likes of the sexual predator animal monster characters. We're getting back to the original subject matter, not to mean to be wagging the dog, nor offense or disrespect is meant to be directed at any past, present, or future sexual assault victims or rape victims of females for the last mentioned statement. But anyway, though, I was saying I hope those perps who hit those females in the faces be cautious enough and to compliment the saying, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. But then, you all take care and be safe and get God's salvation, by recognizing Christ, to accept him as your own personal Lord and Savior for what he had done on the cross of Calvary, so that you won't have to worry about ending up in a lake of fire down hell once your clock stops ticking, so that you can become citizens of the kingdom of heaven and be blessed while you're still here upon planet Earth in the world. Y'all take care and be safe. We out. Peace.